There we are. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to coverage of the Women's U.S. Amateur Championship from here at Strokers in Palm Harbor, Florida. This event brought to you by the American Pool Players Association with our streaming coverage provided by our friends at PoolDog.com. I'm your host, Jason Bowman. I'm joined by Double J, Jeremy Jones, Team USA Vice Captain, down here in Tampa joining us. Jeremy, day 2 here at the Women's U.S. Amateur Championship.
Yeah, championship day for the ladies. We'll crown a champion tonight, somewhere around probably 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
I think with the final matches around 7:30. So it's getting down to the nitty-gritty and the girls that are playing the best.
That it is, and we are down to the final 4 of the undefeateds, in fact, in this 9th round here at the Women's U.S. Amateur Championship, day 2. Of course, we got things going yesterday. Early in the morning, the ladies have been playing their hearts out here at Strokers in Palm Harbor. And like we said, we're down to the final 4. We're going to get a chance to look at 2 of those undefeated players in this next round. Before we do that, we want to run through the tournament format real quickly, acclimate our viewers a little bit. This is a race to 5, combination of 8-ball and 9-ball. You'll see 3 games of 8-ball, potentially 6 games of 9-ball. The tournament, of course, is double elimination, and the winner of the lag chooses either the break or the format. And from there on out, it is winner break. So those are some of the ground rules for you guys. Get a look at our participants in this 9th round. On the undefeated side of the bracket is Tina Larsen from Westville, Indiana. Her opponent, Aimee Peterson from Aurora, Colorado. Before we go to the table, let's have a quick word from our friends at PoolDog.com.
Tired of the same old when you're buying billiard supplies? Come shop with the big dogs at PoolDog.com. You want pool cues? We've got over 700. Balls, cases, accessories, no problem. Want help with your game? How does hundreds of free training articles sound? Want to shop offline? We'll mail you a free catalog. Hit us up online, PoolDog.com, or call 866-843-3294.
All right, looks like the ladies are ready. Again, looks like Tina Larsen, Westville, Indiana, with the break. They are starting in the 8-ball format, so we'll see again 3 games of 8-ball before the ladies start playing the 9-ball format.
Yeah, and Tina, 2-time champion of this event. I heard her commenting yesterday that she wants to win 5 of these. And I wonder if
she could pick up her 3rd this year. So yeah,
I wonder if that number had anything to do with what Brian Parks has done here on the open side.
I think that's probably a good guess.
Well, we saw Aimee play yesterday, and she played real solid, real smart, and a nice win over, I think, Kushan, is what her opponent was yesterday we saw on the stream.
Yeah, Tina Castillo, I think, is actually who we I don't know. It seems like we've watched so many since then. But
yeah.
I thought it was Tina
Maybe
Castillo.
It was Castillo. Sandra Castillo. Yeah, that's right.
So either way, both of these ladies, once again, still undefeated in the tournament.
It's amazing how much, good pool there is around the country, because men and women, I felt like I know a lot of the top players, or not top even, but just solid players.
Sure.
And because the pool world is kind of small, even though so many people play it. But really impressed this week so far, seeing so many faces I've really never looked at that play pretty darn good pool.
One of these 2 ladies will move on to the hot seat match. That'll be at 3 o'clock today. Of course, the winner of the hot seat match advances to the championship match, which we go to an extended race in the championship match. Becomes single elimination at that point. We'll talk more about that as we go through the day today.
Okay, so she made a nice shot to open, but kind of jammed herself up to where she didn't have many options on the stripes, and unfortunately lost the cue ball. So besides the break, we'll get our first look at Tina. Watched her practice the other night. Shot pretty straight. Pretty fearless looking lady at the table. And she'll want to probably take care of the 2-ball first here. Everything else really plays. I would probably shoot the 2 in between the 5 and 15 all the way up in the corner. And everything else pretty much has a pocket. Yeah, so whatever the easiest shot, I didn't realize the 2 went in the side. Definitely would rather shoot it in the side. Probably save the 1 ball. May go forward here to get on the 6 and 4. Clear those away. Then you have the He might take away the 5. I don't know afterwards, but she's got some options.
Want to mention on the upper part of the bracket, still undefeated, Teresa Garland and Natalia Jacob.
And they're playing right now.
Yep. Also playing for a spot in that hot seat match at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, so after this round is over, we will have our final 2 winners. Okay. End up a little short there on the 6, and unfortunately a little elevated on the 3. I like her thought process here, though. If she can knock the 3 down, she'll have the 7 come across for the 6, probably play the 5 last and the 8 in the opposite side. Okay, she didn't want to take a chance at missing. I don't blame her. So, yeah, this is actually better. I think probably maybe shooting the 5-6 and then the 3-7 last. But the only reason being is because you're taking a little chance being elevated. But pretty solid player here, so expect her to get this one down.
Watching our viewership grow. If you're just joining us, just picking us up in your Facebook news feed, you are watching live coverage of the Women's U.S. Amateur Championship from here at Strokers, Palm Harbor, Florida. This event brought to you by the American Pool Players Association. Our streaming coverage provided by our friends at PoolDog.com. Tina Larsen at the table currently, or was at the table. Now you'll see Aimee Peterson. Aimee out of Aurora, Colorado. 46 years old, been playing for 25 of those 46 years.
Playing a long time.
Mentioned yesterday she got involved because her mom had a bar and needed her to join her pool team.
Well, she's got a pretty easy opener here on the 9. Just going to slide across in between the 8 and 7. Now, you would think you would want her to play this combination on the 11-13, but 11 could tie up on the 10 if she did so. So, I mean, not saying it's a bad shot at all, and it's kind of instinctively where you want to shoot, but you got to be careful that the 11 doesn't tie up on the 10. Okay, nice speed there. Hit it light. So in good position here to get the first game, and from what we've seen on the stream, that lead is really held up.
Absolutely. I think every match we did yesterday, it was, we didn't see any hill showdowns.
But, yeah, usually the lady who got the first game usually kind of built on that lead.
Yeah. That race to 5 can be somewhat unforgiving if you get down early.
Yeah, nerves right from the get, which is what you want. You want the players to, not be so comfortable. That's kind of like what tournament pool's about.
Yeah. Got to embrace that, those butterflies, right?
Yeah, and, it's very satisfying to the player that gets through when you're nervous. You feel like you really have accomplished something. So now the 11 doesn't pass the 10, so she'll want to either get straight on the 10 or a little angle to come to the bottom rail and up. I'm not sure. Okay, nice shot. And again, she's still got a little bit of issue on the 8 ball. You'll notice the 7's kind of covering up position for the upper right corner, and both side pockets are covered on the 8. So she's going to have to maneuver the cue ball pretty well after the last stripes down to get a shot on the 8. Okay, the 11 does go. It looks pretty tight, though. Nice shot. Okay, so she's going to have to power the cue ball a little bit here, because anytime you fall pretty straight in, cue ball doesn't move very easy for you. And she needs some cue ball travel to get a shot on the 8. Without knowing, I'm guessing that, Tina started off with the break here, and I'm guessing that Aimee picked the 8 ball. Tina, to me, seems like a more explosive player, a little bit more aggressive, so that leans more towards 9 ball. So I'm guessing maybe Aimee picked 8 ball to kind of slow Tina down a little bit right out of the gate here in this match.
Well, we noted yesterday, she noted in her bio that she she enjoys playing 8-ball the most. That's Aimee.
Mm-hmm.
So you're probably right on with that.
Yeah, and I think it's a little strategic, too. These ladies
sure.
know each other, and I'm sure Aimee has watched Tina probably win one of these titles or two.
Yeah, I
So.
was going to go back and look. Aimee has played in a couple. If they've crossed paths or not. Makes that 8 in the corner. Takes an early 1-0 lead in this race to 5.
Yeah, and a real solid run out there. And
Absolutely.
she didn't really make a mistake. She kind of got hemmed up that first shot when she missed early and gave up ball in hand on the cue ball, but pretty solid out to follow it up.
She looked good in the match we watched her yesterday, too, so we'll see. Tina's tough, though. As you mentioned, a two-time champion in this event. Tina took home the title in 2003 as well as 2007.
Okay.
So she's almost halfway to her goal of 5 U.S. Amateur Championships.
Yeah, and I'm sure
pick one up this year.
She's played in many since,
yeah.
trying to get another.
She's definitely a regular face that we see here.
She's from Indiana, which is a big pool area, of course, the Midwest, upper Midwest.
I feel like we say that about every area.
Well,
big pool area, Florida, big pool area.
Yeah,
Texas,
yeah.
Big pool.
Well, it is
that's good though.
It's
a
big sport, you know.
Everybody's playing pool. That's what we want. But you're right. Yeah.
Well, the winter months though up there, so somewhat like Canada. It's a national pastime along with a beer, I guess. Okay, second ball break most likely when they're from the side rail with the cue ball. And she hit those great. Hit those really well.
So we do have the Garland Jacob match on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/APA Leagues, if you want to bounce around a little bit. The score over there currently, Jacob leading Garland 1-0 in a race to 5. So, again, that is the other undefeated. Jacob looks like she's about to pick up another. And she does. So she currently leads 2-0. Just a quick score update. Again, you can find that on our YouTube channel. You won't hear the sweet sounds of Jeremy and I over there, but
Well,
if you must, you must.
I watched, I guess, Miss Jacob play 2 nights ago. It was funny. I thought I heard Spanish, them talking Spanish, and so I was curious because I knew there was some, the upper part of North America, Canada represented, and I was wondering if Mexico was the same, but ends up the lady lives in Canada, but I think of Latin descent, but man, she played really well. So Teresa's got her hands full there.
Meanwhile,
Aimee
on our table, Aimee Peterson can extend her lead.
Yeah, she's made a nice opening shot there, and I think correct kind of pattern she's looking at. She's going to have a lot of work from here, though. If she can get down table to get at that 14, that would really help. The 9 goes in the side then, maybe then leaving the 11 for the last ball before the 8. This shot here will determine, is she going to come straight across and try and get on the 11 ball? A lot of traffic. Yeah, I think she can go by the 7 and come across in between the 6 and the 2 for position on the 11. I think that's probably a pretty smart. Okay, she caught the 7, so she's going to need a little bit of a break, and I think she got it. She got a little bit of a peek at the 11. Now, again, with all this traffic, it's going to be very hard to get position on that next stripe. I don't think she got on top of what would be the 5 ball to where she can't get at the 11. I don't think so. Her body language tells me otherwise.
She doesn't look thrilled.
No. She may have to, I think she can get at the 11, maybe not to cut it, though. So you may end up seeing a cross-corner bank on the 11 ball. Oh, man. This camera angle tells me she may not have a play on the 11 at all. So she may be like soft kicking at the 14 here, trying to kind of curve the cue ball a little bit. And the reason why she's going at this 14 instead of one of the other balls is she's not trying to make it, I don't think, but she's trying to leave her opponent a long shot off the end rail with the cue ball, which is pretty smart. Okay, so we're going to give up her second ball in hand of the match. We'll see if Tina can take advantage.
Tina Larsen returns to the table. Chalks her cue. Looking to tie this match up at 1 game apiece. Again, they're going to play 3 games of 8-ball. Then they'll switch to the 9-ball set. And we could see up to 6 games, depending on how this plays out.
I think we're going to get the full gamut of games many times today. Just kind of seems to go like that. Yeah. Now she's wanting to take care of the 4 and 1, and I understand that, but she's really got to be a little concerned about the 5. The good thing about the 5 is you shoot the 4 and the 1 on the side, you shoot the 6 in the corner, and it really opens up the 5 in the opposite corner down table. So I think Tina, after watching her play practice and then, of course, playing well still in the winters, I think she'll figure that one out. And I'll tell you, after you played a while, like these ladies have, good players, that's how I kind of know it's a sport, Jason, is your gut really kind of tells you what to do a little. Your gut instinct really comes into play.
Mm-hmm.
She's worried about that 5 ball, and I don't blame her. I kind of like what she was doing initially with taking the 4 and the 1 away, and I think shoot the 6 by the 7, and not too many problems from there. But there's all kinds of ways when it comes to 8-ball.
She's decided to chart her course here. I mentioned Tina is a veteran of many women's U.S. Amateur Championships. 2-time champion. I know she's played in a few of the WPBA events over the years, some of the pro events.
Well, you almost read my mind there. I was like, having one here, and again, watching her play the other day, I would have had thought that she's tried some, highly competitive ladies pool at some time or another.
Well, she's another lefty.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot.
We have seen a lot of lefties in this tournament.
Okay, kind of leaving the 5 for the last, and nothing wrong with that. It does have a couple 2 or 3 corner pockets available, but when it's out in the center of the table like that, you better play pretty tidy position, or else you could have a fairly thin cut on the 5. So we'll see if she plays the 1-4-5 or the 1-5-4. Probably the 1-4-5. Oh, she decided to try and break it out. Okay. So from here, it looks like she'll probably have to take a little distance on the 4 ball. The angle here is going away from the 4. She could move it back and forth. Settling for the long shot. Now, the one thing here is with the 9 being there, she has to either put some nice follow on it to go to the top rail and back down, or a nice draw stroke to bump the 9 a little bit. Oh, nice shot. She was dead straight in. I don't think she'll call the side pocket. I think she's just trying to give herself a little awareness of the. Oh, she is going to cut it in the side. Okay, so kind of think that's a little tougher shot than the corner, but the players know the angles and what they see a little better than we do. Watch out for the cue ball in the upper left or the upper right. Oh, nice shot.
Very nice. Buckle up, folks. This might be a nail biter. That's a strong response there from Tina, tying it up 1 game apiece. This race to 5. That was pretty impressive showing there.
Yeah. And you expect a close match, not only because of the setting, but with both ladies opening with some nice run-outs in the first 2 games, you kind of expect them to perform. So given the opportunity, probably going to be a close one.
Yeah. So Tina will have the break. Aimee will prepare the rack, the final rack of 8 ball.
And we saw it yesterday, which I do like. The 8 does count on the break. We didn't see the 9 yet, but I'm assuming it counts on the break as well.
Absolutely.
And we're going to have a lot of pool players making their way in today for the open event.
Yeah.
128 slated for that event.
Yeah. Seen quite a few of them already show up. Looks like Jason Richko around the corner there. He's a former champion. Mentioned Ernesto yesterday. He's here. Brian Parks.
Yeah, unfortunately, Ernesto didn't qualify.
That's right. I keep forgetting. Yeah, I'm so used to Ernesto qualifying.
He's a sweater this week with Teresa.
He's here coaching Teresa up.
And he's, I guess, doing a fine job.
She's undefeated.
She's undefeated. Still in the winners.
It looks like she is. How you doing, Jason? Good to see you. Teresa trying to close the gap in her match. I was just taking a look at that score. Still trailing 2-0.
Jason and I played a little bit. He's local here, Jason is, and we played a little bit of pool the other night. Solid player.
A lot of good players in this area.
Okay, so they do play make. You know, you got to take what you make. So it'd be open if you made 1 of each, that being a solid and a stripe. But she only knocked in a stripe, so she's going to start with this 11 ball. And that's smart. That's kind of the trouble balls there are, and she's right there next to him. She'd like to get a shot at that 13, the one she bumped into right there, just because it's not doing her any pluses really. So when the ball's kind of down here by itself, you'd like to get to it as early as possible. Watch out for a little bump on the 8 here. Be careful.
Like Tina plays out of a place called Bank Shots back in Indiana. You wanted to say hi to her Bank Shots family.
I'm sure.
Kevin Bridges as well.
They all get plenty of support. Now she's kind of got a little unfortunate here to where doesn't have many options. Maybe a thin cut in the side on the 10. Problem with that is what's it going to leave her position? She's got a 9 on the side rail, 13 on the back rail. Now if this 5 gets in the way of the 15, could be problems. So this is where she's going to have to start playing a little bit different game besides the run out. At some point, sometimes playing 8-ball, you attempt the run, but you have to really come to terms with yourself saying that, hey, the run's not there, so I have to go a little more strategic.
Yeah.
I like her kind of moving this 13 down near other balls. Like, that's what you want to do. You don't want it kind of by itself. You want it working for you some kind of way. So maybe bank it up table near that 15 or cover up the upper right pocket to where the 6 doesn't go, something like that, to kind of cut off your opponent from, clearing the table on their next shot.
Thali Jacob now leading 3-0 over Teresa Garland. And if I'm not pronouncing that right, I'll apologize. Nathali, do we know if that's pronunciation on her?
Is it just Natalie maybe with the H just spelled different?
She's French, so we'll get clarification.
Yeah. Oh, she is French. Okay,
yeah, she looks like she's from Quebec. So
yeah. Okay, so it wasn't Spanish. I thought I just overheard her and her friend the other day, and I knew it was a foreign language. I just heard a couple of words, and
nope.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, she now leads 3-0 over Teresa Garland in a race to 5. So she is well positioned to move on to that hot seat match if she pick up 2 more games here. Meanwhile, we're tied 1-1. Aimee Peterson at the table.
And a smart play there by Tina as far as I initially said maybe bank the 13 down near her other balls, but she knew if she put the 13 down table that Aimee was going to play a pretty solid safety with the 7 and the 3 and all that. So she made sure that that wasn't possible, and she opened the 13 up over the pocket and kind of kept Aimee off an easy shot of any sort. Expect a little bit, not only closer matches today, but normally as the tournament goes on, you near the end of the tournament, the players take a little more time in between shots.
Every ball made a little closer to that glory they're seeking.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody comes into the tournament thinking they're going to win, and as you get into day 2 and you creep closer and closer, it starts to, that vision becomes a little bit clearer.
Okay, she's going to probably put that near the 9 ball maybe. Okay, she moved the 9 a little closer to the hole, so she was trying to draw the cue ball back for not much of a shot on the 13 for Tina. Trying to maybe open those balls on the side rail for herself as well, the solids. Now Tina has got an offensive shot on the 13, a cut or a bank. And I think she needs to try and run out here. Talked about it yesterday. That's 8 ball's a little bit like, like a battle, like war. You when you don't have many soldiers out there, it's very hard to defend. Compared, you can see,
yeah,
7 solids
Shooting
compared to
lanes everywhere
right.
when that happens.
Right. So she's got a chance to play the 13, get a long shot on the 9, and maybe get a cross side bank on the 15 or some type of short side position on the 15. Okay, it looks like she's cutting it, so she's going to go back and forward, trying to get in that little gap, I think, between the 2 and the 4. It's going to be overhit a little bit, so she's a little upset. But she may fall in the gap between the 4 and the 8. I don't know. No. So she's in a pickle here, Jason. And with her opponent's solids pretty open. But I think that was the correct thing to do, to try and run out there. I think percentages say that if she goes into a safety battle with Aimee having 7 solids on the table and her only having 3 stripes, I think she's going to take the worst of it.
Right.
I think she was looking at a curve shot. I don't think you'll jump that 4 from that much distance. You could. It's possible.
You can't pull that one off, Jeremy?
Oh, no. I might be the worst jumper on the planet. I kick pretty well, though. But that checks you up dry today, as great as the players are with the jump cues.
You try to avoid jump shots at all costs?
Well, yeah, I don't ever want to get snookered. But, yeah. No, but I've gotten a lot better at them just because, to be competitive, you have to.
Yeah.
And it's weird. Back in the day when we jumped with the full cue, I felt like one of the better jumpers with the full cue. And then it's weird. Just the jump cues are a little different to me. But definitely a part of our game and here to stay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, she's soft kicking maybe. Maybe she can catch the edge of this. I think that's a smart shot. I mean, she's got to make sure she doesn't give up ball in hand because, that makes everything a little easier when you're starting to run.
Tina's a savvy veteran.
Mm-hmm. And she's got, she can be a little more aggressive with things with her opponent only having 2 stripes on the table. Like if she wanted to try and break out this 15-5 right here off the 6 with so many other balls for options, she can do so. I think she's looking at maybe a safety again. Not taking any chance. A pivotal game, right? Because It's the last game of 8 ball before they go to 9 ball.
Yeah, and both of these ladies actually indicated 8-ball is their strongest game.
Oh,
So I
okay.
know we talked about, we thought Aimee probably made the selection, which I think she did, because I think if Tina won the lag, she's probably going to take the break regardless of the format. But both feel a little more comfortable in 8-ball, so we'll see. One more game of that, and then we go to the 9-ball set. Let's see, up to 6 games.
Yeah, and it's obvious to most, but much more of a shooter's game in the 9-ball, a little less strategy involved. Okay, so that tells me she's going to go ahead and play the 5 in the side, I think, and try and run out. Could be wrong. She doesn't have to. And, you know, when you're in this position, though, Jason, this is where you don't really take a chance on missable balls, at least missable balls that are going to sell out. So she's going to try and pocket the 3, but knowing if she misses, she's not giving up the game.
Just as you said, didn't quite get the 3 to go, but didn't make things easy on Tina either.
No, not one bit. And Tina seems like, to me, just speaking with her outside and watching her play, pretty experienced player, obviously, and recognizes probably when she's got way the worst of it. Because you don't want to, you know, especially talking about better levels, you're not going to rely on the other person missing. You're not going to hope for gifts too much. So. Okay, so she's going to play the 9 maybe underneath the 7, just kind of softly, or maybe bank it back down underneath and put the cue ball behind the 15. Didn't want to rub the 15.
You saw her reaction there. She thought she was going to bump it, but I don't think she did.
Now, for me, I like either just rolling on the 3, maybe shooting the 3 in and calling safe. Very difficult hit. Difficult position for Tina if she did so. She might go for the run out here, though. Again, in a position, don't take a chance on missing. You're such a big favorite the way the balls are positioned.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't, you know, if you cut the 2 and you miss it, although, you know, you always think aggressively, I guess, when you're a better player. But if she misses it, now she gives, she may have got, no, she left a 15, I think. So now really kind of from a position that was very hard for her to lose, that being Aimee, now in a position to lose this 3rd game. I believe that she has the 15, maybe not. Maybe the 2's just barely got her snookered. She can definitely hit it, just a matter if she can make it.
Taking a good look at it.
And I'll tell you, what looked like going to leave a definite shot. If she didn't leave her a shot, again, the tide's kind of turned towards Aimee as being the favorite.
No more chalk, just in case.
Yeah. I'm not sure really what the play is if she can't make this. And you could just bump it, kind of put it near that pocket, but again, relying on Aimee to miss for you to have a chance to win the game. Okay, so she's going to try and tie up that 5 ball. Pretty good effort.
Brings Aimee Peterson back to the table. This third game of 8-ball has turned into quite the chess match here.
Yes, it has, and Aimee's in a great position. Excuse me, a great position again to really not have to take any chances with so many solids still on the table and the 15 there tied up. Only thing she's got to worry about is really not leaving a shot on the 9 that offers an angle to break out the 15 somehow.
Teresa Garland now on the board in our other pairing of undefeated players. Still trailing by 2 games to Nathalie Jacob.
Okay, nice shot there. One thing about this strategy here, if you don't run all the way out, you're kind of evening the playing field for this third game the way the balls are. So she's got to make a clear-cut decision. Can I get out? Is that what I want to try and do? If so, it looks like probably having to take a bank on the 5 at some time or another. Well, if she is going to try and run out, you would think she would leave the 5 for the last ball. So she'll shoot the 1 off, play the 4, and then try and get at the 5 somehow, maybe a bank cross side, or maybe break it out. Maybe shoot the 4 and bust them open.
Mm. Really sizing this up. You know, as I watch this type of thing, Jeremy, and the time that they spend kind of identifying the shot they want to take makes me think of like the Mosconi Cup where, with the shot clock, the 30. I mean, can you imagine 30-second shot clock is,
Oh, yeah.
you know, that's a whole different world trying to operate and figure out your shot. So when you watch those events with those shot clocks, I mean, you really got to appreciate what those guys are able to identify so quickly.
Yeah.
You know, whether they're going to kick, play safe, shoot at it, jump it. I mean, you know, you get, what, 1 extension per rack, and that's it.
Yeah, you get 60 seconds after the break.
Yeah.
That's the only extended time clock. But, yeah, 30 seconds. And
So much pressure.
it is. And one thing that helps the pros is they kind of do a lot of the same things over and over, right? So there's not as much question marks in their mind on how they should play it. So it becomes a little bit more, center of the table. I'm going to get the cue ball center of the table. You know, there's a lot more structure to the run out.
Right.
But there's a lot of difficult situations that come up, plus checking your nerves with only a 30-second shot clock. So
how hard is that to get? I mean, at some point you started playing that. I'm sure you didn't initially in your career.
No,
At some point you played in an event where it was being used, and how difficult is that to adjust to, like, at first?
Yeah, you have to really, get your own format with the clock. You know, like for me, I've somehow figured out to make my decision and prepare myself. And when I get down on the ball, it'd almost always be about 14 seconds left on the clock for some reason, somewhere around in there, right? So you have to figure out something. That way you're not always checking the clock.
Yeah.
Like it's almost internally in there.
So you're not keeping you're not 1,000, 2 1,000, 3
No,
1,000
no,
in your
no.
brain.
No.
You're focusing strictly on the table and then hoping you.
Yeah, and the routine kind of was built in for the clock kind of after some time, you know. But everybody has to deal with it initially. It doesn't matter if you're a fast player, if you're a slow player. Of course, most people think the slow players are going to be affected more, and that's a pretty natural way to think.
So it looks like Aimee went with what you had outlined there. She tried to pocket that 4 and break that 5 out at the same time. Didn't necessarily work out. Just opened things up pretty widely for Tina here.
Yeah, and really didn't miss the 4 by much considering how tough of a shot it was. So Tina in a great position. She'll just hit this in with a little bit of top outside, meaning right English, to check the cue ball and play the 8 in the side. She could gather to the second rail, but I don't see any reason for that. Yeah. So it's, a strategic game in our third game of 8 ball, but now going fast and loose with the 9 ball to end this session.
Tina puts away the 8 in the side pocket, and in doing so takes a 2-1 lead in this race to 5. Ladies will pull a few balls off the table, prepare the 9-ball set. While they do that, I want to mention a nice offer that our friends at Pool Dog, for those of you that are looking to upgrade to a low deflection shaft, they got a great value for you on the Summit shaft they're now offering. Comes with Kamui Clear Soft Tip. Available now for just $134. So again, if you've been looking to kind of upgrade your shaft and you don't want to spend a ton of money, a lot of bang for your buck in this offer. You can find that at pooldog.com. Make sure we appreciate all their support, and we move into the Christmas season. If you're looking for new cue, new shaft, whatever your billiard accessory needs are, visit our friends at pooldog.com. Let's see, Aimee Peterson preparing that 9-ball rack.
Yeah, giving it a good look over, and it's a good thing to do.
I've noticed it seems like a lot of what we've seen has been they've opted for the traditional racks instead of the templates. So mentioned yesterday, and you can kind of see it hanging there on the light, they do have the template racks. Both players have to agree to use it. If one opts not to, they use the standard wood house equipment rack, and it seems like a lot of them have opted to go that route. At least one player in the match has, which means they both do. So
Right.
And we talked a little bit about it yesterday and kind of your feelings on it, and it takes away some of the variation of the game by not having it, and so it looks like they're opting for the old traditional, which is just fine.
On a great break off here in game 4 by Tina, and a great shot on the 1 with the 2 near and the 3 near. Tell you, I wouldn't doubt she runs this table. Not only a solid player, but you can see the 4 on the right side rail, which kind of leads you easily to the 5. So if she can keep her nerves in check, big match here on day number 2. And I think that's the same rule y'all carry in Vegas for your big events. Isn't that correct? As far as the rack, if both parties agree to use the template, they can.
We don't use the templates in Vegas.
Oh, you don't at all? Okay.
At least we have not yet. I don't necessarily know why.
Right.
But somebody knows why. It's not necessarily a Jason decision. I'm sure Bill could enlighten us. Bill Tufts, our tournament director. There's always a reason for the decisions, as he tells me.
Yeah, and I kind of think she should go below the 6 here with the cue ball, because you'll notice if you get straight in on the 5, you can stay below the 6, which offers a really nice angle to come up for the 8. She comes back. Okay, she got there, but now she needs to travel above the 6 because she can't hold the angle below it. So now she'll need to get up by the middle diamond area, somewhere around there. Yeah, like where she's got her finger now to gain a nice angle to move up forward for the 8. If she had followed the cue ball down more straight in on the 5, she could kind of just roll that in and hold a underneath angle. Easy to underhit this one and get a little flat, and that's what she's done. And it's a very because you don't want to go too far and get thin on the 6, so kind of just instinctively you underhit that shot a lot of times, and that's just not Tina, that's everybody. So big problems here with just 3 balls left, not much angle at the 6, if any at all. And very difficult to play safe on the 6. So
Some questions about coaching. So there is no coaching allowed within the match here because it's individual play. It's not team play. I think we made a reference to Ernesto coaching up Teresa.
Mm-hmm.
I think we meant more in general.
Yeah.
Throughout the trip, obviously you can.
Yeah, he's doing the
you
pom
can talk to a
poms.
player after a match or before a match and
Yeah.
tell them what you've seen, but no, that you're not allowed to call a timeout and confer with someone during a match.
Well, she hit it thin. She hit it pretty well considering she had to shoot it from some 9 feet away.
Good opportunity here for Aimee to tie things up.
Great opportunity, and here's where you got to recognize you got a pretty thin hit on the 8. So the cue ball movement's not going to be a problem. Easy to overhit this and get a little long on the 9. She may want to go 2 rails. I think just 1 rail down, kind of float into position for the 9. Yeah, nice shot there. And although that looks missable, right, this 9 ball, it does look missable.
It's definitely missable for me.
But well, I had you in mind, actually, when I brought it up. No, I'm just kidding, Jason. But this is a standard way to play the 9. You play from a little above, a little cut shot. That way you don't fall behind it or on the rail with the cue ball. So it's a shot that pool players really that's unfortunate.
That's going to hurt.
Yeah.
A tough miss there for Aimee Peterson. Golden opportunity for Tina to extend that lead. And extend she does. Tina Larsen takes a 3-1 lead. This race to 5. Aimee will have to find a way to come back after that one. We've talked about it in the race to 5. It's tough to give one away, and that's one that I'm sure she agrees she should have had. Tough shot, though. I mean, it was certainly not a gimme there.
No, not at all. And she hit it pretty well, really. But
yeah, just didn't quite
sat,
get it to go.
Yeah, sat right up. Not sure. Do we have a score on that outer table?
Still 3-1.
Still 3-1, okay.
Jacob over Garland. Looks like Teresa is currently at the table. I'm not sure. Did they start in the 9-ball set in that match?
They did.
Okay.
They did.
So they'll play one more game of 9-ball after this one.
Really impressed with Tina's break in the last game. Really hit him solid with a lot of power. Yeah, like that. Getting a lot of movement on the rack.
Mm-hmm.
She's got a thin cut shot on the 1, but a playable shot. Could bank it cross corner, could bank it cross side, cut it in the lower right-hand corner if you're looking at your screen right now. Got some options. Of course, the safety's there is also.
You're looking for the tournament bracket, find out who's in, who's out, when your favorite player plays next, or if they do, you can find that at compusport.us.
Well, looks like she's going for the cut shot. Watch out side pocket. Really nice control floating that ball in, also with a little side spin.
Mm-hmm.
So a little shorter on position than she wanted. I think the 2 may pass the 6 if she doesn't feel like shooting for the other corner. The 3's near the side, so position on the 3 shouldn't be too tough. All about making the ball. That's what she's looking at now. I think she's got to draw this, though, I think, because to avoid the scratch. They just kind of stood up on it a little bit. So pretty sure Aimee recognizes don't want to fall down 4-1 in this race to 5.
No,
so big game.
Not against Tina Larsen, a 2-time champion, who's got her sights set on that hot seat match.
Well, I think we saw Aimee yesterday in the second round match, so she's made her way after that win. So maybe faced in a similar situation, trailing a game or two, and pulled it out.
I don't know that we've seen her. I mean, she took the lead early in this match.
Mm-hmm.
Tina's won 3 in a row now, so
good position here to get game number 5, though. She'll just draw the cue ball back a few inches for the 4. Now this is the 5 to the 6 is important because the 6 is pretty easy to get at. But with the 9 being there, you want to carry an angle on the 6 to be able to get back for the 8. So important to do what she's doing right here. Even though the 4 and 5 look very, elementary, I guess you might say, you still need to pay attention to what needs done between those 2 shots. So. Okay, so she should use the rail here to go by the 8 and back up for the 6. So you're saying you've never tried to qualify for this tournament, Jason? Is that what you're saying?
No. I know there was some wisecrack answer in there. I just couldn't find it. That's just a flat no.
They don't let you at the company, right?
I'm sure they actually. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. As an employee, I cannot participate.
That's right.
That's the reason.
Conflict of interest.
The only reason.
Well, y'all probably have your own little.
My money otherwise.
You probably have your own little company tournament that you've won a few times.
Yeah.
So.
Actually, I will say my team is the defending champion in our office league.
There you go.
What are you shaking your head at, Kara? You know we're the defending champs. Won 3 out of the last 4 years.
There must have been a dispute of some sort. Okay, so here's that 9 ball I was talking about. She's got an angle to where she's going to the rail, and then she's got to contend with the 9 a little bit. So probably going to apply a little side spin, whether it be left or right, to come back for the 8 and avoid the 9. Oh, she got a piece of the 9, so that's going to leave her a long-distance shot on the 8. I've been very impressed with the ladies, how they've handled the pressure. There's a lot of pressure right here in this shot.
Sure.
It may not work out for her. I think she'll probably knock it in, but knowing that, she's facing a 4-1 deficit most likely if she misses. There's not much security in pull, that's for sure.
It's a tough field. I mean, defending champion Lisa Cosette knocked out last night.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't even make it to day 2.
Okay, she's just making herself a little more comfortable with what the cue ball is going to do. She doesn't want to make this ball and scratch in the side. So she'll either draw this or roll forward past the side and take a little longer shot on the 9. Oh, great shot. Great shot right there. And nothing any easier here on this 9 ball.
Nope.
This is the kind of stuff I was talking about yesterday, Jason, is where you prepare, you practice, or whatever. This just get down and trust what you're looking at and forget about what might happen if it doesn't go well. Oh, great shot. And a lot of confidence in that stroke.
She rebounded nicely. I mean, having missed that 9 ball in the last game, you kind of wonders. I'm sure thought crossed her mind, but, man, she just hammered that home. And she pulls within 1 game of Tina Larsen, and she will have the break. So great response there by Aimee Peterson.
Yeah, could have a 3-2 lead, actually, if had gotten that 9 ball down in the last game. But like you said, shaking that off, that's a big part of sports. Is
short-term memory.
Yeah.
That's good.
with the good and the bad.
Yeah.
Also, not just the bad ones. You gotta
Right.
you gotta forget. You
Yeah.
can't get too happy. I call it.
confident,
Yeah.
Got viewership continuing to grow. Appreciate you folks tuning in. If you're just joining us, we're seeing live coverage of the Women's U.S. Amateur Championship being held at Strokers in Palm Harbor, Florida. If you don't know where Palm Harbor is, it's directly across the Tampa Bay from downtown Tampa, about 30 minutes across the causeway and up Highway 19. Great facility here at Strokers. Great food, great table conditions. The owner here, Jose Del Rio, a pool player himself. I'm not sure. We never did find out if he qualified this year. He has played in several U.S. Amateur Championships over the years, which is really impressive when you're trying to run the place.
Oh yeah.
And play in a tournament with the players that are here. So.
Well, yeah. It's always been the saying when someone opens a place, their time at the table goes way downhill.
It's what we tell our league operators when they get started with us.
Mm-hmm.
Most of our league operators were former league players, and they come into the system, and suddenly they don't get to play quite as much anymore, right? And that's just kind of par for the course. So I think we've got a bathroom break here. While we take a break, hear a quick word from our friends at PoolDog.com.
Tired of the same old when you're buying billiard supplies? Come shop with the big dogs at PullDog.com. You want pool cues? We've got over 700. Balls, cases, accessories, no problem. Want help with your game? How does hundreds of free training articles sound? Want to shop offline? We'll mail you a free catalog. Hit us up online, PullDog.com, or call 866-843-3294.
Aimee is back at the table after a quick break. She will have the break. See what I did there? Got action all day long for you folks here at the Women's U.S. Amateur Championship. Be with you from here on out through the end of the day. Our championship round scheduled to kick off at 7 p.m. Eastern.
A really nice controlled break there, making the corner ball and getting a nice shot on the one. And if it passes the two, I think she can hold the cue ball there and possibly run the table. Again, her body language tells me maybe she doesn't have an open pocket on the one, or maybe it's just a portion of the pocket on the one. She's going to have another look at it. Because like, most good players, she wants to be aggressive and try and run out. I'm not sure what she's playing here. Some type of safety, it looks like, just edging the one maybe and coming across with the cue ball. Okay. She was trying to get her behind the 9. Good effort. Just overran it a little bit. We'll see if Tina wants to be aggressive on a 1-8 combination in the side. I think it's lined up fairly well. Not an easy shot, obviously, but should probably play the safety most likely. I'll tell you, like I said a second ago, most of the players that play pretty well, they because of the aggressive nature, and talk about it with the pros all the time. They're looking to execute before you execute, before their opponent executes. So, wouldn't doubt if she attacks. She's hitting a top English on the cue ball, so it makes me think maybe not. Just bumping the 1 by, coming back on the 8 with the cue ball, something like that. It's going to be a little light.
This event being played on all 9-foot tables. Some folks asking, all of our championship rounds of the U.S. Amateur are played on the 9-foot tables. That and the format, what makes it unique in terms of the APA tournaments that we do. Quick score update. Well, I'll wait to update you based on what happens here on this next shot, but we do have another matchup of undefeateds. Teresa Garland and Natalie Jacob. Oof.
Yeah, good effort there.
Teresa Garland just misses the 9 ball. Looks like Natalie Jacob will pocket the 9 ball and take a 4-2 lead. Now on the hill, needs just 1 game as they move to the 8 ball set. So tough miss there for Teresa. Had the length of the table to go, missed that 9 ball. So again, you can find that match on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/APA Leagues. Natalie Jacob needs just 1 game to move to that 3 p.m. hot seat match.
Yeah, big shot at the 9, I believe. After trailing 3-0 in that match, she had a chance to get
Teresa
it
had a chance to
tie
tie
up.
it up.
Yeah.
So tough break for her. See if she can fight back. Meanwhile, Tina Larsen doing what she can to move to the hill in this match.
Yeah, in a really nice position, getting this 2 down. Oh. Kind of had to roll it a little bit there, and not the most fun way to shoot the ball. You kind of normally want to control it a little bit more when you're in a position where you just got to dead roll the cue ball. Can be a little nervy, I guess you might say. She could cut this 2 all the way down. Could bank it cross corner by the 5 if she wanted to be aggressive.
Seeing some questions about skill levels. This event is non-handicapped. So offhand, I don't have their skill levels.
Oh, what a great shot this looks like here. And
Beautiful.
wow, perfect speed on the object ball and perfect position on the 3. Well, that'll boost your confidence there, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the 7 hanging and the 5 pretty near the pocket. So all about the position on the 4. Of course, you can't overlook. You got to get the 3 down, but okay, if she's going forward, she may have to contend running into the 8. That just tells me what the angle's kind of doing, and nothing wrong with that. She's got a decent little shot on the 4. Carries easy position for the 5. I like her shooting it to the upper right corner. That way she can hit it with a nice, not super light pace, but like a lighter pace to where it opens the pocket up, makes the pocket a little bigger for the 4. Man, that's a confident stroke. So she should just lay up for the 7 in the side and probably play the 8 in the opposite side pocket. Okay, so this is where you just hit a piece of the 7 because you can make it hitting it so many different ways. And you just carry a piece of the 7 takes you easy position for the 8 in the opposite side pocket. She could draw it, but I would probably roll it and just come to the side rail. Yeah, it's a nice touch. A little bit short, but you're always worried about hitting it a little too thin and the cue ball running down to this bottom rail, and you become having a tough shot on the 8.
like the players that know these ladies back home are indicating they are at the highest skill level in APA, 7s and 9s respectively. No surprise, as most of the players here are going to be that upper echelon ranking.
Okay, so she's going to get a similar shot that she missed earlier. And
2 racks ago,
yeah.
Very similar.
Yeah, very, very.
Maybe the cue ball a little further down table, but very similar.
Much more stretched on this one.
Mm-hmm.
So see if she corrects that from the last. I think she will. Oh, thick again, so that's going to be upsetting. And really made a nice run to get to that position.
That's tough. But you're right, almost an identical shot, just a little further down table, and didn't quite get it to go. Won't count her out yet, though.
No, not at all.
Not after we saw in that last game. She came right back.
And she knows that, she did a lot of the work in 2 of these 9-ball games. The score could, if, Tina gets this down, the score could actually be
flipped.
Quite opposite. Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But as it stands, Tina Larsen now on the hill, needs just one more big game. And she will move on to the hot seat match at 3 p.m. She will have the break. Aimee will prepare the rack.
Yeah, that hot seat match, you said 3 p.m. And then the
final. Yeah, so one of these ladies is, it's obviously double elimination. So nobody in this round, at least out of these 2 matches we've been talking about, they're not going home.
Right.
They'll have to pick up an extra victory along the way somewhere to jump back and have another chance. But it's the benefit of the double elimination format.
Again, been very impressed with Tina's break.
See if she can get that 9-ball moving.
She got a little movement on it in the first one, in the first 9-ball break.
Not much there.
No, she made the corner ball,
side,
though, yeah. She's going to be snookered on the 3, which is the lowest numbered ball on the table, so we'll see possibly our first push out. She could take on the kick shot here, though. The kick shot's not bad, just with a little high right spin and come to the bottom cushion and up underneath the 3.
They did begin in the 8-ball set, so they played 3 games of 8-ball. Now in the 9-ball set.
Okay, it looks like she's going to reposition the 4 a little bit off of this push out. Maybe put it, okay, I thought she might put it on the upper rail there, but it's fine.
This match about let's see, hour and 15 minutes deep. Started right at 11:30.
And I like her shooting at this for the safety. Kind of just banking the 3 up and using the 7-9 to snooker the cue ball. Okay, a little light. And that's a pretty common tendency on that shot because you're so afraid of, it kind of going off in your hand and you leave an easy shot on maybe the 3 in the side. Okay, nice shot there by Tina coming back with the cue ball and cut off the jump shot. So it's going to be a tough kick to the side rail. I don't think she'll kick behind the 6. I think that's the way she's looking. And it's a little tougher kick than the one to the right side rail if you're looking at your screen. Not only is the 3 a little closer to the right side rails, so that makes your accuracy a little better, but wasn't easy. Okay, so ball in hand. She'll shoot the 3 on the side and probably draw it back maybe 6 or 8 inches. A little closer to the 4 and a little less angle on the 4. Kind of a little past where the cue ball's at now, and her being left-handed, she'll be, oh, she came all the way over, so this is going to be more of a stretch for her. And maybe, probably a little, not intentional moving the cue ball that much, I think. Oh, so we're going to see a little righty from Tina. And many players, like she hit that ball really well. And some players play well opposite-handed, but most develop to where they shoot the shots they need to be able to reach opposite-handed. They shoot those well. It's not so much they can really play the game like myself. I can't play left-handed that well, but the shots that come up that are left-handed shots for me, I do those pretty well.
Nice.
Just because you need to be able to. So a little funny angle here on the 5. I think she'll pop it in the corner and try and stun to the rail and over. That's one thing about Tina I noticed immediately the other night watching her practice is she has power in the swing, She's not afraid to turn it up a little bit if needed. Looks like maybe is she going forward with the cue ball here? Oh, great shot. Great shot. That's a nice little stun shot over. Now, didn't quite get where she wanted, but still a pretty good effort. And I think this is a safety maybe because she's not thinking about it too much. So she's going to try and get her behind the 7-9. And
nice.
Wonderful job putting the 6 on the side rail too. That was very important.
She executed just like she wanted there.
Yeah, and the one thing I see also is you'll notice she didn't put the 6 over the side pocket. Because with the jump cue these days, you have to think about that. Even if you get the snooker, if you put the 6 over the pocket, they just jump right over the balls and knock it in.
Looks like she's grabbing that jump cue now.
And I don't blame her. It's not an easy kick with the side pocket so near. She could kick to the top rail, come right down at it, catch that point, and not hit the 6 at all.
Yeah.
So I think our first look at the jump
one,
cue in this match.
I don't know that we saw one come out yesterday.
I was just thinking of it. I can't remember if we saw maybe one, but. Okay, so probably not trying to cut it down the rail. Probably more of a bank shot here. And she's going to put the 6 in a funny spot. A little bit funny. Especially being left-handed, she'll have to use the bridge or reach over and try and cut it in right-handed. Yeah.
Commentary partner from last year, Richard Andrews, tuning in. Thanks for joining us, Richard. I'm going to assume you approve of your replacement, Double J here. He said, Jeremy sounds like he's played the game before. He might have picked up a cue stick once or twice.
Yeah.
You brought your cue stick with you today, didn't you?
Yeah.
You don't go anywhere without that thing.
Yeah, no, I just grab it, right?
Yeah. I haven't seen him without the cue stick. We went over to dinner at the Bahama Breeze last night. He brought his cue stick.
No, well, I don't know about
just
that.
Kidding. Just kidding.
I checked it at the door, actually. You didn't notice it, but
it's too valuable to leave in your room, I'm guessing, right?
Well,
you don't go anywhere without it.
After tonight ends, I've got to hit a few balls here several days. I enjoyed it, So maybe find a friendly one-pocket game later on.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we are with the bridge and right-handed. So that's a funny thing you see sometimes. I went on the road with a couple guys years ago that great control is they shoot left-handed, but they use the bridge right-handed.
Huh.
Like she did right there. So she can see a piece of it. Yeah. But she can't quite see enough to bank it away. So she's probably going to have to feather the 6 and try and run the cue ball.
Oh, this has been a tight match. I mean, the exception of those two 9 balls. That's. I mean, obviously that's a huge difference, but those are the only 2 mistakes, if you will, that stand out. And certainly they weren't. We talked about it, they weren't gimme shots by any stretch. A
Well,
tight match.
You know, if Aimee goes on to lose this match, that's one thing she can take away is, of course, you don't want to miss the money ball. Nobody does. But
Yeah.
she played pretty darn solid here. It's just a couple little ones got away from her. And I like her thought process as well. And watch out for the scratch. You got to hit it thin. Watch out for the scratch. Yeah. And I understand what she was trying to do there. She was trying to go to the side rail and just put the cue ball in the end rail and kind of tie the 6, 7, 9 up a little bit is, I think, what her thought process was.
Tina will have ball in hand here.
And kind of setting up a 7-9 combo. I don't think she'll shoot that. I think she'll shoot the 6 and stun over for the 7. And quite possibly get in the angle to where she may shoot the 7 in and make the 9 with the cue ball in the opposite corner. So we'll see.
Thank you.
Well, she bumped it and tied it up. A little surprising. And she's got to watch out here. This isn't so easy to play safe. Yeah, you're going to give up a look at the 7.
All right, Aimee. Getting down to it.
And I'd be surprised if she went offensive here. There's a tough shot in the side. You're not going to get real close to the 8 for position. I'm pretty sure she's going to elevate here and try and stop her ball right behind the 9 and knock the 7 up table. I don't think it's, it's right on the border, though. Like you want to be offensive here, but I think you got to pull on the reins a little bit here, Jason, and go ahead and play the safety. And problem is, you always know your opponent can make a great kick shot on you, and you maybe don't get back to the table. But
whatever she does, just make sure it works.
Well, that's easy enough said.
That's
how you should. That's the motto, I guess. Just make sure it works.
Just make sure it works.
Don't care how you fix it. Just make sure it works. And she wants to shoot that safety, and something keeps telling her, man, I want to shoot at this ball on the side. Okay, leveling out. So that tells me she's attacking. Oh, she's playing the safe still, trying to get a little reward with the 8, and I think she got it.
There you go. Let's see if that's enough.
Well, definitely a kick shot. If she can't get at it directly, definitely a kick shot Tina should hit. Oh, she can get at it. So she's going to try and cross corner this bank maybe. Pretty sure she can't make it straight in. She's got to bank it. Oh, what a great shot. Watch out, cue ball. Well, that's pretty unfortunate there.
Yeah, beautiful shot, but she scratches in the opposite corner. Ball in hand to Aimee.
Yeah, and she'll shoot the 8 in one of the sides and follow forward for the 9. Ball in hand, you almost always want to follow your ball into position. A couple reasons. First off, real hard to miscue following the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And also, your position is always in your peripheral. So when you're drawing the ball, you're drawn to something that's behind you for position. But when you're follow with ball in hand, you always see kind of where your position is there. So it gives you a real good speed control, you might say, I guess.
Right back in the 9 ball in the same corner. This time a little more straight on, but put her within 1 of Tina. Nice job there by Aimee to kind of force that issue, force that one little mistake by Tina. And I don't know that other than that, we haven't seen many from her.
No, not at all. She's played great.
So Aimee is back within 1. Tina's still on the hill. Aimee will have the break again.
Yeah, Aimee happy to see a 9 ball go in that
lower
right corner.
It's been a great match, folks. This has been been a tight one.
And a nice level of play as well.
Yeah.
It hasn't been very bloody. I see Teresa Garland still hanging in there, even though trailing 4-2, but the match is not over.
No.
So that's a good sign. Tough shot she's got on the bottom rail there.
She got it.
She knocked it right in, trying to come up and down for the 8 ball, it looks like, and another tough shot she's got. So nothing easy here on championship day for the ladies.
Nope. Certainly not on the undefeated side of the bracket. Again, that match is over on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/APA Leagues. Teresa Garland currently about to be shooting on the 8 ball, trying to stave off the loss. Meanwhile, Aimee Peterson doing the same here on our featured table with the break.
Okay, much different break than Tina's, much more controlled while still making a ball, and it's going to get a 2 balls actually, and she's not snookered on the 2, but not really much of an offensive shot available.
No, Teresa could not make that shot on the 8.
It was
Opponent's
tough.
got a chance to finish that one off. Keep you updated there.
And a little far with the cue ball, it appears. She let her see the 2, just a piece of it. And it looks like Miss Jacob is going to advance to the hot seat with a pretty easy 8 ball on the side, it looks like. So Teresa's going to go to the 1 loss side, but definitely going to try and fight her way back.
Natalie Jacob finishes off Teresa Garland, who picks up her first loss. That'll bump her over to the 1-loss bracket. She'll have to fight her way back through. Natalie Jacob, as Jeremy said, has secured her spot in the 3 p.m. hot seat match. The winner of that match moves on to the final. That extended race we'll have in the final.
Okay, it looks like Aimee will attack here on a little bit of a thin cut on the 2. Oh no, she decided to play safe. She did a pretty good job. She's got a little piece of it, it looks like. And also just like Tina, Aimee has a little sliver on the bottom side of the 2. Going to try and bring the cue ball back behind the 3-9 most likely. Nice control there.
You got there, chicken sandwich?
Buffalo chicken sandwich.
Jeremy's lunch has arrived.
That's right. Let's get on with it, ladies.
I tell you what, it's an art form to figure out a way to eat in the commentary.
Yeah, it
isn't
is.
it?
Yeah.
Not only is there not a lot of space, there's not a lot of time.
No.
Scarf our food down.
Well, I'm
Start the next match.
number 5 of 6 kids, so I learned how to eat fast at an early age. They're gonna catch a little 4 ball, yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna give up ball in hand here at 4-3. Could be looking at our first Hill match on the stream table. I get ahead of ourselves, I guess. Yeah, for sure. I'll let the chicken wait for a little
Not so good
Hill
for that
action.
chicken sandwich over there, though.
Right. It's all right. I'm a pool player. I love to watch the Hills. Sacrifice many a sandwiches over the Hill. Okay, so not to overthink it too much. Just 2, 3, 4 in the side. You got to get across for the 5 on the opposite side rail, but both these ladies not only have the physical skills, but what I've seen, pretty smart players as well. Now, the one thing here is she's definitely going to contact the 9 with the cue ball. So she's got to be a little concerned if she knocks the 9 in the way of the 5, which could work out, meaning she could play a 5-9 combination to get us hill. Main thing is, if you hit it with a little speed, the 9 could come out and snooker you on the 4. You wouldn't think so, but okay, so that'll work. She's got a little angle on the 4, so she can come to the side rail and back over for the 5. Great shot. Great. Looks like good speed on the cue ball. A little bit hard, but you know when you get close to your object ball, Jason, that angle becomes steep quickly. Big shot, biggest shot of the match for us so far on this 5 ball, cutting it down the rail. And caught the
that side, yeah.
You may get. Oh, she's okay.
Definitely could have been worse there.
Absolutely.
And leaves Tina in a little bit of a tough situation.
She made one heck of a cross bank on the 7 earlier and scratched, unfortunate scratch. Don't think the scratch will happen here, but you may see a similar type of cross corner bank attempted. Well, she's jumping this. So, wow, that's a very difficult jump shot with the 6 so far away. Not one you see attempted very often. Wow.
Oh.
And that's, one of the reasons you have to put so much power on it to jump a ball so far away that it's very hard to control not only the cue ball, but the object ball as well. So ball in hand with 3 left here to get us hill. And that's might inquire on if that's a foul or not, but it is. Any object ball off the table.
Five ball went flying. Brad Jones, one of the floor managers here at the U.S. Amateur Championship.
I'm sure that's the rule. It's spots?
So is what she was. Okay.
No, it's spots.
Spot a ball off the table. Object ball off the table. 9 ball. All right. We're getting clarification from the floor manager, tournament director twins, Bill and Brad.
So that's one of the rule. That's one of the rules I didn't know.
Little inside joke for those of us here at Strokers. 2 gentlemen who look very similar.
Yeah. And that's a rule that I wasn't aware of with the APA is the object ball off the table is not a foul ball in hand. It just comes and respots.
Well, it is ball in hand, but the
but the ball
gets spotted,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. That makes a bit more sense to me then. Well, she's not taking the ball in hand though. Wonder if she's aware. And she has a shot in the side or the corner. Probably going to shoot the side pocket. Kind of sends you towards the 6 pretty natural. Nice shot.
And if you're just joining us, you're seeing live coverage of the Women's U.S. Amateur Championship being held at Strokers in Palm Harbor, Florida. Aimee Peterson at the table, currently trailing by 1 game. Race to 5. No problem there for her.
And she's got a nice, small angle, but enough angle to come to the short cushion, the bottom cushion there, and back up for the 9. So there should be a little bit of high right spin. She's getting a little downward. Okay, so she just kind of drug the ball. Pretty much the same thing as rolling it.
Yeah. Look at that. Nice.
Yeah, really good
we're
cue
going
ball
hill,
control.
hill.
Yeah.
You're going to have you a hill sandwich.
That's right.
There it is, 9 in the corner, and we are tied at 4 games apiece. The winner of the next game of 9-ball will move on to the hot seat match. The loser to the 1-loss bracket.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, pretty impressive Aimee fighting after those 2 missed 9-balls.
The little grunt by Tina as she came by, taking a little break. So while they take a break, we're going to take just a brief second. Hear a word from our friends at PoolDog.com.
Tired of the same old when you're buying billiard supplies? Come shop with the big dogs at PoolDog.com. You want pool cues? We've got over 700. Balls, cases, accessories, no problem. Want help with your game? How does hundreds of free training articles sound? Want to shop offline? We'll mail you a free catalog. Hit us up online, PoolDog.com, or call 866-843-3294.
Ladies are back at the table. Tina Larsen preparing the rack. Aimee Peterson will have the break. Hill, hill. Just the way it should be.
That's right. And again, very impressed with Aimee. Big recovery after a couple missed 9 balls.
Match.
Yeah.
Great match. I think the viewership agrees. We're now over 500 viewers. Midday matinee on a Thursday.
Yeah,
Folks spending their lunch hour with us or just blowing off work and tuning in, whatever works.
Yeah.
We don't care.
U.S. Amateur watch parties. Okay, and we'll see if she sticks with that more controlled break. She's done real well with it. Made balls and gotten shots on what it'd be the 1 or the 2, depending on what the lowest number ball is. But another solid one. Lost the cue ball, though. So Tina has got the first, prime position here in this Hill game with ball in hand. Now the 2 passes both of these lower corners, so a lot of times you just instinctively look for the one that's closer to, which would be the lower left corner, but I have to keep in mind, now she's looking that it goes by the 6 and the 5 too, and that way makes it a little easier position to get on the 3, in my opinion, because you can stay on the clear side of the table with the cue ball. You don't really have to go into the 6 or into the 9 or the 5, so probably just draw up the side rail a little bit here. Yeah, like that. She wants to stay off the rail, though. So here the angle kind of tells me she's following it, maybe going into the 5 a little bit with the cue ball, maybe. Not taking much time, though, so she must like it. And cleared it open enough for a shot on the 3, I believe. So here she just doesn't want to fall straight on the 4. She wants an angle one way or another. And she's gotten kind of straight, so it may be difficult to get down on the 5. She may have to roll forward and just take the shot on the 5 from somewhere underneath the 7. And that's what I meant about an angle. If she had fallen a little short, she has a nice angle to go 3 rails with the cue ball back. If she had gotten longer, she has a nice angle to come naturally towards the 5. That straight in is kind of the one that's the difficult one to deal with as far as getting position here. Of course, making the 4 becomes a little easier, but all right, she's going to try and add a bunch of inside English here. Try and go to the rail and go by the 7, I believe. Oh, great shot. Now, is she going to bounce too much and the 9 get in her way? I think so.
Yeah.
So really a nice effort. Just when you have to power up, right? Well, you can lose speed control a little bit. If you're a little bit off, it can get you. But a kick shot she should always hit coming to the bottom rail. She could knock it in the side, off the 7, or straight in, or in the corner.
Aimee Peterson at the table trying to figure out how to capitalize on small window of opportunity that Tina has left her.
And it's very difficult both ways. I think the 5 does go by the 7, but that's a lot of angle. Some distance away, the cue ball. It obviously goes in the top left, but the cue ball's going into the 7. So difficult situation here to attack, but I think she's still going to attempt to, and I don't blame her. I would as well. Okay, 2 rails in the corner, or did it go a little long? Tina's in a nice position now with the 5 and the 6 in the opposite side. So all this is where it does come down to all about that ball pocketing. Position very natural and simple. Oh, great stroke there. Now here you just want to make sure you're not going to end up over the 9 somehow, like obstructing your cueing with the 9 ball somehow. So stay clear of that. You can handle an angle on the 7 or not much angle either. I think she should probably come one rail across. She could draw this, but like more of a punch shot, I think. Yeah, I like that. So, she overcut it.
Wow. Aimee Peterson's going to get another shot here. What a comeback this would be.
Yeah, a difficult shot. Cue ball near the rail, and the 7 does go, but it looks like, Jason, the natural angle of the cue ball is going right towards the scratch. So I'll be interested to see what decision she makes. Yeah, it goes in what would be her upper left pocket, but the cue ball sure looks like it's going towards the opposite corner. That would worry the heck out of me. I'm kind of a worry wart anyways when I play.
WWJJD. What would Double J do? I bet Aimee wouldn't mind a timeout right now with Double J, but I don't know. You don't know, right?
No, she's playing well.
On her own
yeah,
here.
She's playing well, and the player's instincts are far superior than the guys on the sidelines. But she kind of knows it. It's telling her the same thing. You can see that she's really inspecting where the cue ball is going to be coming off this 7. Now, she could overcut this and kind of play a safety where the 7 goes to the back rail and cue ball runs a little bit, but still very touchy.
Well, you've talked a lot about aggressive versus safe.
Yeah.
Which will it be for Aimee Peterson?
And that's what's happening with her right here. She wants to be aggressive, but something's telling her that maybe it's no good. Maybe I'm going to lose the cue ball. Okay, she went ahead and went aggressive with the bank. I think she may end up getting a little bit of a roll.
Some folks still talking about the 5 ball that flew off the table, and
what the ruling is?
It is ball in hand. I don't believe that. I think perhaps Aimee was not aware or confused on the fact that the ball was spotted. But I think she still went ahead and pocketed and ran out that rack, so I'm not sure that it makes a huge difference in the grand scheme of things. But meanwhile, Tina Larsen. Look at that.
Oh, great shot there.
What a shot.
What a bank.
And she pocket the 9 and finish this off.
Yeah, big 9 ball shot. Man, what a bank. Oh, there you go.
Got it in. 9-ball in the corner for Tina Larsen. What a match there, folks. Aimee Peterson, Tina Larsen. You saw a good one.
Yeah, they'll both be back.
Whew.
That was a winner's side match.
Absolutely.
So we haven't lost Aimee. She'll be fighting through the losers.
Yeah. Tina will be moving on to the hot seat match at 3 p.m. Aimee's going to have to work her way back through the one-loss bracket, but hope is not lost for her. And based on the way she's played, I wouldn't be surprised to see her later in the day, folks. We appreciate you tuning in. We will be back in just a few minutes. We're going to take a quick break, get another match ready to go on the main table, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks for joining us.